Hey everybody, I'm Agree,
I'm Harrison.
and this is Bottom Line Design. And today we're reviewing YC Founders' websites. And today we got Gonzalo from Double. So, do you want to tell us what Double is?
Hey,
Oh,
first,
before we do, let's set up the screen share.
oh yeah,
There
Don't
we
try
go.
this at home, kids. We're doing it live. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, Gonzalo, you want to tell us what Double is?
all right, yeah. Thanks a lot for having me. So, Double is a spreadsheet web app that has GPT or has AI superpowers embedded in it. So, just it looks like any other spreadsheet, Google Sheets, Excel, but there's GPT-4 in the cells, so you can do things like generate prompts and stuff like that. And we've also added some new tools on top, so you can scrape any website. You can search Google and pull in results from Google, so you can basically surf the web and run AI prompts on top. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wait. So Double is basically
We
like
should use this.
yeah. This is the fun part of our job is like we run into things and we're like shit actually we might be able to use that. So it's like Google Sheets where you have like the referential and like spatial model that Google Sheets does that you can refer to cells and things like this that are maybe adjacent or X number of units up or down and or left or right. But the formulas that you can use are like take A1 and be like write A1 a personalized message or like get A1's like last name. Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And in fact, a lot of our users actually use it to write personalized messages. But they use our tools like the web scraper to bring in context from a person's website or LinkedIn profile and merge all of that context to craft a good message.
Okay,
Wow.
super cool. So let's start with the hero section, the above the fold.
I mean, I think the first thing that we'd like to start off understanding is what is the KPI? What are you trying to get people to do on this site? Are you trying to get them to get a call with you? Or are you trying to get them to sign up?
So Double's a freemium. So I really just want people to go and use it, but I want people who will actually have a good use for it, right? So here on my header and on my hero, are you someone who cleans and reaches and qualifies leads? Okay, now you can do it with AI. So hopefully, if you're that person, if you're an SDR, if you work in BD, you're seeing these and you're thinking, yeah, that's me. Let's get started right now for free. Either that or come check out our demo. It's only 1 minute long, and like hopefully that would hook you.
Oh, whoa, you know what? Okay, so this is a great opportunity for the squint test,
Yeah.
right? Like if I'm squinting right now, there's a lot of competing elements where my eye is trying to focus, but it really can't. Let's run through some of them, right? So if we're squinting, I'm looking at the sign up, that's competing, get started for free, that's competing, watch demos competing, and then this big boy right here, this is like competing with everything, right?
Yeah.
So where do we start? You basically want to put your users in a position where they don't have to guess, right? They want to come in and they want to be told what to do, how to do it, and where to go to do whatever they need to do. So right here, you can start off by just focusing in on one CTA, like get started for free, or is it watch demo, or is it watch this demo, or is it sign up? I don't know. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I think I do agree there's a lot of things catching your attention, and I also want to put attention to that giant circle we have there. This was actually heavily inspired in a YouTube thumbnail, right? So like we're going for the YouTube thumbnail. All your attention is like, oh, this AI instruction thing on the spreadsheet.
Right. So I think I definitely get that rationale. Two thoughts that come to mind, like reiterating some of what Harrison said, is like if the YouTube thumbnail is the inspiration here, first thing that comes to my mind is like notice how the most important thing in that thumbnail is getting clipped because it's not above the fold, right? So like if it's add AI instructions, one thing you might want to think about is like consider possibly like setting this up so it's columns. So this, because you can see there's a lot of, this is prime real estate. Imagine like, this is like having a front yard in Manhattan, in downtown Manhattan. Like if you want to move this off to the right.
It does not exist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you want to move this, off to the left and then move the video demo up.
Then maybe, just like collapsing the video. And let's see, is this video the same as this video?
Yes.
Let's say you want to find
So Just pick one,
Easy one. Yeah, easy
and then
win.
just make sure that maybe you can make the first second in the actual video so it's dark, like a dark opacity, so that this play button actually pops out. Or maybe there's some way that you can work with like Loom's API, I think. Is this Loom? Yeah. Is this Loom?
It is.
Let's say you
No,
want to
well,
find
it's
help
Vimeo.
for work.
It's Vimeo. Maybe
Yeah.
there's an autoplay function where it can just autoplay without any of the audio, and it can be at 2x with captions
Mhm.
potentially. That would help cut it down from a minute to 30 seconds and kind of like play into everyone's attention span in 2023, you know? But right here, the add AI instructions, make this not blurry. You want to like put this up on a pedestal, and you want to maybe add like a diffuse shadow to separate it from this area right here.
That is actually such a good point. Like, it might be worth an investment. Actually, it definitely would be worth an investment to get this vectorized,
Yeah.
especially right here. So that way you can do the YouTube thumbnail mentality and keep it, but you won't have to deal with like running up against pixelation, which
Yes.
I think it's just selling you guys short, you know?
Now, another thing, just watch out for little typos right here. I think there should be a comma. I'm going to go to my writing genius right here. Yeah.
Clean, enrich, and
Oxford
well,
comma.
yeah, that's an Oxford comma.
Yeah.
Highly contentious as to whether or not it should be there, but
Anyway,
yeah.
the point is I think that maybe this is not unique enough. You know, there's plenty of tools out here that clean, enrich, qualify, but using AI, that's different. Maybe leading with something around AI.
And can I ask, Gonzalo, is your guys' is the current use case the main use case you support around like data munging for leads list, or is it more like you guys are coming for Airtable because you have AI embedded in every cell?
So it's a very horizontal tool, right? You can do a lot of things, and where these, clean and enrich qualified leads is coming from, it's actually from what most users are doing, right? So we put out a tool, AI spreadsheet tool out there, and like we found out naturally most of our users were actually using it for sales purposes, and so we just iterated on that and try to like narrow down on that niche. This
Okay.
could very well be something else.
Yeah. That's I think a question for you guys, and probably like almost beyond the scope of a call or a conversation this narrow about like whether this use case or this header may want to be actually like a use case section item, so that you guys can actually showcase how horizontal of a tool this is. Because I feel like
maybe
with,
like another page section because it could go quite in depth.
yeah, there's a lot of use cases for a product like this. I mean, I think your guys' call whether you want to like use this website right now to own this use case, or if you want to cast a wide net on the homepage and then basically add more and more use cases as like communities are discovering you for their particular workflow.
And actually, like, you bring up a good point, like a nice visual element that you could put in here. If you want people, like, first off, these two things should be flipped, right? Like, or not flip, but like side by side. And maybe you can go a step further and, get rid of the video, but almost gifitize all the important actions, or like maybe you're giving examples of like writings or formulas and how it actually is leveraged by your technology, so that each use case gets its own little GIF.
Yeah, I like that. Actually, if you scroll down a little bit, the next thing we covered is yes. So we're talking about use cases here.
Wait, one other thing just before we go: hot leads, but it's double. People might actually end up thinking that you're hot leads versus double. Okay, because it's in bold and it's bigger text than your own logo,
and it's next to your logo.
Just be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Good point.
But okay, yeah. So talking about use cases, talk us through what's going on with this section.
So again, these are just to give people, if from the above you're not sure what this tool does or how it can help you, here are more precise use cases of exactly what it can do.
We just busted the screen share. We're coming back here. This is it's double, right?
Usedouble.com.
Okay, great. So let's start that screen share back up. That's going to get edited out. Don't worry. Okay, yeah. So no, we're not, right? Okay, so this is like, if for this section, if they're not fully convinced yet as to whether or not they're going to use your product, you're kind of trying to bring these use cases to life.
Yes, that's correct. So again, going back to like being very horizontal and lots of things that can be done. Here we're painting, clear images for the users. And you've noticed that when you click on Find Company Industry or click on any of these subtitles, it actually takes you to the login screen.
So be
Right.
mindful of this. This is kind of scary stuff.
Mhm.
You are asking for sensitive information prior to delivering value. So what you want to do is you always want to backload. For example, DoorDash and Seamless and all these delivery guys, they started off asking for credit card payment and hard permissions up front when you first download the app. Well, they had a tremendous drop off. Then they realized, oh, highest point of intent is when you're most hungry. It's when you're pressing place order. When you press place order for the very first time, then the payment information comes up. Then you're much more likely to put it in. Think about it in terms of that. So it's like get company URLs. Actually, a great analogous is like, let's just do Zapier Webflow to Airtable. I'm sure you know where I'm going with this, right?
Exactly.
Something like this, right? Like this is something where it's like,
You can't see it, I think. Yeah.
oh, you can't see it. Okay. Can you see it now?
No, it's you share
Okay.
this tab instead.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, great. So it's something like this, right? Where it's like details. You can show them a little about what to expect prior. And I didn't even have to sign up to see all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So just something to consider.
So yeah, I think where we want to go eventually is it takes you to a template where you can just pop information and see it live. But in the just because that's a bit more development intensive, in the meantime, I was thinking of like just when you click on that, it takes you to a video tutorial on how to do exactly what these boxes describing. What do you guys think of
Maybe
that?
just put the play button right here. Maybe just see like view demo right here.
That's I think that will be like the immediate next step, just because it's easy. We already have it on our help center. We can just roll that out.
And then maybe just bucketing out, like you have like three LinkedIn here, you have 3 Google, you have
it's like mixed.
maybe just put a segment to control right here, just to kind of like bucket that information, make it a bit more approachable.
Yeah, and I think another thing I was going to say, one thing you guys do well here is that there is in almost pretty much every screen, there is a CTA, right, that will take you to the next step you want the customer to take, which it looks like is a sign up for you guys, right?
Yes.
Okay, so are we ready to talk about the pricing section?
I think so.
Okay, all right.
So what's the plan that you want them to sign up with the most? Because I would expect that the darkest one is the most popular bang for buck.
So that's incorrect. So we actually only show one real plan here, right? So first of all, you have your free perks, the perks you get just for signing up, and then you have your paid plan. And the way paid plan is where you're going to start. And the way Double works is as you use Double more, you run more AI prompts, you use more credits, you need to upgrade your plan. And we don't show that here as clear. That kind of like comes later once you log in. But yeah, just to give you guys that context, what do you think?
I think that there's a real opportunity here to have a slider potentially, or maybe there's some. I'm just spitballing here, but maybe there's a way to like ask certain questions that get them more invested before they drop off after seeing the price. Maybe there's something where it's like no matter what, you always start off for free. And then there's a little widget that's keeping tabs on like your limit, and then maybe you can upgrade.
I think the other thing I was going to say is like if those are all like iterations or like new evolutions that this could take. If you are looking for something a little bit more local, I'm just like applying the squint test here, and what I'm seeing is like, as much as I can tell, the clarity numerically is all in the business plan. These are not numbers. Free and custom are words, right? This is a price. This is an actual number. But why is it that I keep feeling like I'm getting yanked back to the enterprise column?
Yeah.
You know?
And what happens when you press contact sales? Is it
that sends me an email? It's going to open the email. Yeah.
Okay. And now actually
maybe you should change that to like a Calendly.
Boom. That's what I was going to say.
Because if someone's an enterprise, you don't want to make them.
I love that.
You
We'll
know,
do
if
that right
you
now.
want to make them work, at least provide a template email to them. But that's besides the point. Just put it in like a Calendly link or something, and then put in a pre-qualification so you're like, your time's not being wasted. But Agree's totally right. Like my eye is being yanked over here. What about if it was? What about if you just led with free up to 200 characters? And then you can put down in here like $19.99 per month, and then down here require more, contact sales, and then boom, you can just wholly focus on your business plan, and you don't have to have competing CTAs over here.
Interesting.
Yeah, just a thought. Okay, so we're ending a bit abruptly here. So it's a big no-no because right here there is an opportunity. If I was to go down here, it looks like a totally different website than up here.
Oh,
you know, where did the red come from? Are you going to introduce it in double? I'm not really sure, but you may want to consider just getting like a more democratic color like blue, right? So, or like this like purple, but you have multiple motifs going on right here. So you have like purple, well, I guess that's that purple, and then you have red, and then you have black.
Yeah.
So I would just say like something to monitor because it could seem like a little bit jarring by the time that they end up down here. But I would also say this: if you were to redesign this, I would just put a CTA right here, being like contact sales, because if they're pressing get started for free and they're going right into the flow, odds are they're probably like curious more so than they have high intent, right? So the more that they scroll, the higher intent that they are, right? That's the theory. So you want to make sure that the CTA adjusts accordingly. Now here you can have one last like what we do on Yumi is right there at the bottom. We have this, right? So it's like tapping the most driven designers. It's like your last ditch. But along here we have CTAs. You know, we have CTAs everywhere. So you just want to make sure that you're capturing someone's intent at every single turn. Also include a sitemap down here. You know, you can put your Twitter logo down here, but it's even stronger if you spell it out. It's even stronger if you say like get in contact, or if you put everything like pricing and stuff like that. But look, I think overall this is pretty successful. I think it's how you're demonstrating the value visually that could really take you to the next level.
For sure.
This is great advice, and I think we're going to implement a lot of these changes right now. Do you guys want to log in and see like that UI, or are we only doing landing pages?
So actually, if you want to walk through the UI, like we love jamming with founders on like their design problems. If you couldn't tell, and you know, maybe like because I'm gonna be out of town next week. But yeah, you can send.
I'll send you a link right after.
Yeah.
So don't leave after I stop press recording. But guys, this has been Bottom Line Design website reviews. I'm Harrison,
and I'm Agree.
Thank you so much, Gonzalo. Appreciate it.
All right. All right. My name's Agree.
I'm Harrison.
And this is Bottom Line Design, where this episode we are going to be walking through some Y Combinator startups websites. And we're starting here with Rachel, who is the co-founder of Simplify. So do you want to tell us just like in a nutshell what Simplify does?
Yeah, so at Simplify, we're trying to build a common application for jobs. And the way we think about it is like we're the central source for recruiting for both candidates and recruiters. So you fill out one application and you're able to use our Chrome extension to apply anywhere. And you're also able to find jobs in companies on our platform.
Okay, wow. So it's like the value proposition is like you guys have a job board, but going beyond the liquidity that a job board would provide society, you guys are actually providing almost like a common format that creates like rails that would benefit both the applicant to apply to more jobs and more jobs to see qualified applicants.
Yeah, exactly. So we think of ourselves as the first candidate-first recruiting platform, and so we built tools that we kind of struggled with as candidates ourselves, and also we have like a matching system. So we learn as you apply to jobs, so it's not just like a traditional job board. We actually match you to job postings directly.
Okay, very cool. So maybe we can start with a website now, huh?
Yeah. So just before we start, where are your clients coming from and what is the KPI of this site?
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now we're still mostly user facing. So this is mostly for users to convert on this page. Our clients will have a simple employers button, I think on the top menu of the page. Uh, it converts pretty decently, nothing super crazy. But yeah, our main KPI right now are just our users and applications submitted on the platform, like matches made. So
Okay, very cool. So look, just hopping into it. So I always like to start off with the squint test. So when we're squinting, what do we find is the user having a prescribed path to go to, right? So right off the bat, if I was to refresh, let's say it's a fresh landing. So all my eye strength goes over here. It's going to these brands. Now, one thing right off the bat is maybe you want to grayscale some of these. You're a brand new company, so you don't want to be competing with different brands. You want to put simplify up on a pedestal. So that's just something to consider. And then right, justifying these visual assets is also good. I'm going to just kind of bounce around and just look around, and I try not to see any of these beforehand, although I did cheat and take a quick look.
And I was going to say, while we're here on the landing page, a few thoughts in addition to all the things Harrison said. 100% right. Like, you guys right now, it's a quirk of web browsers, right, that you're going to have these logos before the Simplify logo. So grayscaling them and all these other colors also, I think will help center you guys. Also, I was going to say, though, that the CTA button is the same color as the apply button. I get why, but like when you squint test, you see most of the action is happening over here. And when it looks like a button, I'm so inclined to want to click it. But of course, it's an animation, right? So that's one thing that stood out to me. Another thing I was going to add to what Harrison said is you've got 3 different calls to action. And it's clear you want them to add your Chrome extension as the primary one. But then why have that compete with the job matching quiz? And then what do these 2 things have to do with signing up? So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. And so discover relevant jobs, apply 10 This is a great H1.
For sure.
This is one of the better H1s that we've seen, because you are telling them the value up front. You're telling them what you're doing and then how you're doing it. Awesome. So forget the endless job boards and filters, get personalized careers recommendation, autofill. Okay, with our extension. So learn more. Big no-no right here. So right now, it doesn't look like I can scroll. People might generally scroll, but it doesn't look like you can scroll. Go ahead and bump this trust banner up here.
For sure.
Tighten these down. I'm gonna focus less on UI and more on like information architecture because it's easy. But maybe scale these down and give like a little bit more of a sophisticated look to the logos. And then you can reduce this padding just a bit more here. I think this is really, really strong. When we see this on websites, this is awesome. But upon further review, applications submitted.
I was just about to say the same thing. Is like, what does that mean to me as an applicant, right?
It's a bit vanity based, and so what you want to try to lean into is something maybe along the lines of like success, like placements or something. I'm not sure, but submitted is like it's a bit vanity. Okay, let's go down. So we start simplify to fix the issues we face while recruiting. So right off the bat, there's a lot of text here. Now, a lot of text is coming in the form of testimonials. If you have testimonials, that's good, but break them out just a bit, because you have a trust banner already here, and then you're going into like some more testimonials right here. So after discovery designing, new grad entry level jobs here. Okay.
I was also going to say there's a bit of like a convention buck here going on, that there's like the testimonial pattern, which is very legible, like, and very, very well recognized. But then each of the testimonials also has like its own header. So I wonder if there's an opportunity here to like tuck, like for the internships use case, maybe have that be like underneath like operations intern at FY PM.
I was thinking something similar. It might also be interesting to see like if these are like applied as an intern, applied as a new grad, applied as an experienced job seeker,
totally,
versus internships, new grad. You're already assuming that like we as the user understand like what you guys offer, But right here, when you describe like, hey, they applied as an intern, they applied as a new grad, and then you can bring maybe whatever element is in here that describes like intern, like maybe it's like a small like bubble box or something, like a small visual element. You can bring that right here so that by the time that they go into the portal, they've already been primed with those visual assets.
Totally.
Yeah, you were gonna say something?
No, that's it. Yeah. So I think then, are we ready to move on to how Simplify works?
Okay, now what I'm going to wait for is if this takes me through to number 2. But these are already...
It's waiting for you to scroll.
It's waiting for me to scroll. I see. Okay, so let's just wait. How long are these? So one thing that I can recommend is maybe just throw this sucker at 2x speed, throw a bunny rabbit behind it, and then suddenly you're not waiting like 10 seconds, 15 seconds when your average, Gen Zer, I think they have like a retention of like 3 seconds, 3 to 7 seconds because of TikTok. But definitely, I also have like a short patience level. Like I would just say like throw 2x behind all these videos and it will make it that much more visually engaging. And then also drop down this to a grayscale and then bump up maybe Simplify. And what you can do if you want to get extra toasty is like you can zoom in on all the actions that you want people to focus on. That might be helpful. Okay, so now, of course, we're coming back to the text. So, okay, track applications. That's nice. I really like these animations. It's telling, you know what it is Slack does a really good job at this on their landing page of like fuzzy demos. So like this is a great example of like a fuzzy demo where you're not spelling out Twitch. Right. And you're not like giving all the information on the sidebar. You're just telling them like navigationally, like UX wise, like this is how it works. Auto job. Okay, so I'm noticing just a quick departure in the UI. So there's a lot of like, there's like bold H1 and then there's like unbolded H1. Then you have like this right here. So there's different, you have like a subheader. So just making sure that you're keeping your H1 through H4s consistent, consistently used. And then watch out for bold versus unbold, just keeping everything like nice and tight.
Yeah, and then there's one other thing I was going to add to that is like, so you've got how Simplify works. This suggests that this is a new section, right? But then you've got the 1, 2, 3, super clear. Now, okay, what's going on here, right? Like, are these features? Right? Are these like? Can you actually help? This might be a great place for you to chime in. Like, what's the difference between the How Simplify Works section and then this white section here?
Yeah, so we thought we would just add a quick highlight of features because, like you mentioned, like people have short attention spans, so some people just like scroll all the way to the bottom just to, like quickly see this site. So like this is like right there in the face, quick snippet. It's like a title. It's hard to miss what it is. The images just like kind of help out as well. You don't have to wait for the animation to fully load.
Yeah, they totally do. I was also going to say I like this like sort of I don't even know what you call this element, but the it primes the user, right?
Primer headers. Yeah.
Oh, they're called primer headers?
I don't know. But
okay,
like,
but yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, don't miss out. Oh, okay, get matched with the ideal role, tracking, right? Like these very clearly demonstrate, I think, the value props of how you guys make the job application process easier. Whereas this explains like literally like a IKEA user manual, right? Like these are the 3 assembly instructions.
Now we're missing something here, Agree?
Yeah.
We are missing whenever you have insight, whenever you have like something to share of value, make sure that you're coupling it with an action item.
Yeah.
So right here should be a CTA.
Mm-hmm.
Right here should be a CTA.
Mm-hmm.
Right here should be a CTA, and a CTA doesn't always have to be a button. It can be something like this, right? Mm-hmm. Now, okay, we have, maybe this is for another episode. So, okay, first-line discovery, job list curated just for you, browser collection of job made by us. Now, when you're making claims like by us, who are you? Why should we trust you, right? Made by, and then list credentials, or maybe like a short credentials, like we have X amount of years in this industry or this specialization. Don't miss out. Typically, you want to stay away from negative words. Don't miss out could easily be flipped into get the most opportunities, right? Get matched with your ideal role. Because we call this kind of a dark UI. Another example of dark UI is when you're on you see it on a lot of, unfortunately, like women's fashion retail pages, when a pop-up dialog box appears and they're like, save 20%. And then they're like, yes, or no, thank you. I don't want to.
I don't want to save 20%. Is this?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
just.
like, oh, come on.
Yeah. So now let's get into this section.
A lot of copy here.
And I took a very quick peek at this site right before we started, and yeah, this was something also that stood out to me.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So I think the first thing that comes to mind here is like great opportunity for a little bit of information architecture to sort of like make these looking for internships tools to help experienced job seekers and access exclusive job postings. Highlight those, right? Like maybe make them headers rather than having them be just a bold version of the body type.
Are these tappable? Whoa, okay. So that's a bit jarring. I was not expecting that. So when I tap into one of these, I did not expect it. You can prime a user that they're going to be taken somewhere by adding a chevron. But it dives a little bit deeper into is this really the best UI for a segmented controller? Probably not. A segmented controller is meant to change the state of view, not necessarily to tap into a new page. So this may be better served as a list on the left, and then it can open up into a preview into the right. But of course, that's not going to get you to escape velocity. So it's just so look, we've hit the end. Any closing thoughts?
No, I mean, I think it's like a very cool value proposition. And it sounds like there's a bunch of quick, easy to implement improvements that, would take the site to the next level.
Yeah. And then just one last thing is like, try experimenting with an off-the-shelf free tool for chat. Like maybe someone has some quick questions that might save you guys some ops, like emails that you have to write back answering questions. But it also might be nice just to add like an FAQ somewhere. Maybe I missed it, but and one last thing: if you're anchored right here, bring these suckers down with it. Bring down these page sections. Okay, cool.
So I mean, yeah. Do you have any questions? Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, no, that was super useful. I guess question about the CTA part. I mean, we do have like 3 different CTAs, but they all kind of end up converting to the same angle, which they all end up signing up the user. Whether you install the extension or you take the job match quiz or you click on sign up, you're gonna make an account. So we were kind of like experimenting with what like to put, because like someone's just interested in the job matches, they just take the job quiz, they see job matches. Someone's like, I already know where I want to apply, then they want to install the Chrome extension. So I guess that was a kind of like an interesting point that we're trying to figure out, like where and how should we distinct the user and like how we should set up the UI for that. So still trying to think that through, but otherwise pretty useful. I think it was all pretty insightful.
So other founders watching, what you can do is if you're stuck in a position like he is, you can download Hotjar and see where the cursor shake is happening, where they actually are tapping into, get a heat map of your site. Additionally, what you can do is you can just go to your 10 most active users and your 10 least active users and ask them questions such as what motivated you to tap on what did you tap on and why, and then see if that correlates with others. On the opposite side, why did you not sign up? What were you expecting to see that you did not see? What could have been changed if you had a magic wand? What was frustrating about the sign-up process? Things like this.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing I was going to add is that like chances are the impact of an optimization between one of the 3 choices may not be colossal unless you have significant traffic coming through your site, right? The difference may not actually be super statistically significant, but what will just produce a higher polish and add to the ethos of the site is picking a lane, right? So rather than like kind of sending cars out in all 3 of those lanes, figuring out like which one are we going to stick to? Is it going to be get them to take the jobs quiz? Is it going to be tell them to sign up, or is it going to be tell them to download the Chrome extension?
Totally agree. And you can just set up a brand new A/B test page through like Google Analytics or something, and then just to have like 2 subdomains.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess we can definitely experiment with that. How about like just maybe segmenting out into 2 different pages? Is that also like a viable strategy? Have a separate page just dedicated to the extension and a separate page for the job match quiz?
I think you have to A/B test it.
Maybe
Yeah.
fair
Yeah.
enough. That makes sense. We'll do that.
Thank you so much, guys. This has been Bottom Line Design review. We really, really appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Rochelle.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, everyone. This is Bottom Line Design. I'm Harrison.
And I'm Agree.
And today we are reviewing YC company startup sites. And today with us is Rollstack. Hey, guys.
Hey, hello. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. So do you want to just give like a little elevator pitch about what Rollstack is, what you guys do?
Sure. So the problem we're trying to solve is how to automate content platforms with BI tools, integrate them with BI tools. So content platforms like Google Slides or Google Docs. And on the BI tool side, we're connecting to Tableau, Looker, and other BI tools. And yeah, the goal is to make presentations and documents live with data, and also give the users the ability to, let's say, they have a meeting Monday at 10 a.m., give them the ability to schedule an automatic update on 8 a.m., for example, so their presentation is always ready to be presented.
Okay. So just so I understand this correctly, you guys basically have created a pipe from some startups like BI or business intelligence warehouse to pipe that data into the slide deck or the Google Doc where they need to show an up-to-date graph or an up-to-date table with things like growth rates, churn rates, or any other sort of metrics that might be in the BI, rather than them having to sort of, get carpal tunnels doing the forklift operations themselves, yanking it out of BI and then dropping it into the Google Sheets.
That's correct. So for now, we're not connecting to the data warehouse itself. We're pulling the visualizations from the BI tools and from the dashboard specifically. But yeah, that's where we are starting.
Okay, amazing. Well, let's get started on the website. Let's start with the above the fold. Harrison, what do you think?
So what is the main goal of the site? Is to get someone on a call or for someone to go through like an automated happy path? I see you have to start for free.
Yeah. So for now, what you have on the website, is a redirect to the app. So we haven't set up any like automated sign up with billing and all the complex stuff. But people can try the product. They can reach out to us via the website. And for now it's the product is available. Our goal is to get maximum feedback, and then we're iterating.
Okay.
From that.
And so what is this website's KPI? How are you measuring its success?
It's essentially the leads that we're getting through it, and those have been actually pretty good, but not necessarily thanks to the website, but more precisely kind of being present where our ICP is. But the idea behind the website is twofold. One, getting people to use the product directly as we're heading toward a PLG motion, and then the second is having larger enterprises book a demo with us.
And I noticed that you have start here, book demo, start for free. The book demo, I always like to ask this. I'll make a hunch and you tell me if I'm wrong. When someone presses book demo, does this get you more cash clients than start for free? Paying clients?
Yes.
And why is that? But why not have that be your main CTA?
Yeah, it could be. So essentially the reason is that larger companies can't just access the product right away because they usually have security measures in place, which makes us go through a security whitelisting process with their security IT team. But then smaller companies, don't have these things in place, so their users are just able to log in and start using the product right away. So kind of by essence, and with that kind of customer segmentation split, it makes the companies that are coming through the book a demo more valuable in terms of ACV than the ones coming from the PLG motion.
I see. Okay, so it sounds like you guys are actually trying to test right now. Something that I might recommend is you just make an A/B tested website. So you almost have like two versions of the site, except for instead of start for free on or in A, you have start for free, and then in B, it's book a demo, and you see which one actually performs higher. And then you can refine in from there. Do I want to focus more on my sales motion, or do I want to focus in on the automated happy path motion? Which is, and if it's the book demo that's getting the most amount of paying clients, what can you learn from that process to bring it over into start for free? Right off the bat, I would doubt that they're asking people on a demo to continue with Google. This is super heavy, right? What you want to do is you want to backload all the sensitive ask as much as possible, and you just want to get them into something where they can start playing and experimenting. It's so cool, this idea of, oh, we got a little parallax situation. This might be unnecessary. It actually might be slowing down your site performance, which like impacts like web crawlers from Google, but it also is like a little bit distracting. It's cool, but it's not necessary. Why is this dot here? Why are these two dots here? I'm not really sure, but maybe making something a little bit more fuzzy on this side where it's almost like showing maybe like the information kind of flowing through here, and porting into just this section of your slide, and then maybe giving other other slides right here, maybe through a carousel or something, so you can see like different examples of like, hey, Tableau, a bit of Tableau data made its way right here. Next slide. A Looker piece of data was like ported into this slide 7 right here. Salesforce data, something along those lines. I'm also looking right here at your slides and docs are always up to date. The thing about this is like, it doesn't tell me what exactly is going on, but it does get me interested. I would say like this is probably more on the successful side than some of the others that we've seen.
Yeah, I think that there's room for some improvement with that, like that language, that it's like you're describing the value, but you're not necessarily like you're describing the end state, but you're not necessarily describing like the what or the how. Like, is it something where you could say like, sync your slides and docs with your BI tools, or something like that. The second thing I was also going
to, or live data in your slides.
Yeah, exactly. Like live sync for your slides and docs. There's some shopping there to be done, but also like it looks like this is a lot of text for the hero section, and it almost suggests to me maybe like some of this could be shown through demonstration, maybe like an animated product illustration, like Harrison was saying, of like something comes in through Looker and suddenly like this graph changes. Something comes in from Salesforce and suddenly these percentages change, and you can use color to indicate like a little like pulse of like bing, like
motion design could serve you guys quite well.
Yeah.
And something up here announcing our backing by Y Combinator, the thing about it is this is just a distraction, and it's even more of a distraction when you can't even click on it because it just lets a user down. And when I'm looking at this long text, maybe just cutting this by half, right? Because what's going on here is like, I'm on a 16-inch MacBook Pro, and people are going to be on mobile. People are going to be on smaller form factors. I would be willing to reckon that this actually does not make it above the fold. And so you might actually have more conversion if this was shorter and this was like just pushed up a bit, more concise. How you're writing about like no more stale out of date presentations, documents 68 hours. Watch these run-ons. Like I see like 2 ands here. Watch these run-ons, and then also change the negatives into positives, right? So instead of no more stale data, live data. No more screenshots from multiple places, getting data from multiple places. No more endless versions, the most up-to-date version, right? You always want to put yourself in a position where you are the good news. You're never, ever selling like negatives or bad news.
Yeah.
Backed by the best. I would say you don't even have to put backed by the best. You can actually bring up Y Combinator, cut the size down by half, and then put it right there, and then say backed by.
And actually, here's a great opportunity for the squint test. So if we all just squint our eyes real quick in this area, like, do you guys notice that Y Combinator's orange actually kind of eclipses the CTA. And it makes me want to click the orange. Like my reptile brain is like trying to click this, but nothing's showing up. Whereas the CTA obviously takes you to your guys' login. So that's the above the fold. What are your guys' thoughts?
Those are great inputs. Definitely. And so first of all, yeah, I agree with all these elements. We do have a video later on, so might be probably a good opportunity to bring that up.
Yeah. Okay. So we got the video here, and we've got sort of the 3 number. We're always a big fan of the 3 big numbers that prove that you guys are valuable.
Just make sure, small note right here, but this is such large text, you don't even need these divider lines. I would say, like, stop wasting time. Again, use your time efficiently updating data, not stop wasting time. Always, again, the negative to a positive. And then right here, let's just go ahead and create 1 line. Or maybe if you're gonna have it without the dividers lines, maybe you can have every year be on the 2nd line or something. But right here, if I'm about to press this video, I have hesitancy. The reason why I have hesitancy is because I don't know if it's about to jump me to another page. It didn't. Okay. But right here, let's see how long this video is. It's 1 minute, 21 seconds. Your average millennial is probably going to have anywhere on the order of 30 seconds attention span. Go ahead and re-upload this perhaps at 2x speed. And bonus points if you're able to do a Ken's burn effect on the features that matter as you're going through the video.
And if you want to even like disaggregate it from a video so they don't feel like they have to make a cognitive commitment to like spend the time to see it, or they may not like just want to do that, is you can disaggregate what the content in the video into like a how it works section that's maybe composed of like 3 or 4 parts. So like here, we're just going to do this at 2x.
Or maybe some GIFs as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
or maybe outlining like, hey, this is a 30-second video.
See how it works in 30 seconds, for example, right? Yeah. And this actually even looks like, you guys might be able to just upload a version of this that's at 2x.
You did do they are doing
that you're doing,
okay,
right.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Amazing. So imagine this now, this version of the video at like, instead of 1:21 now, just playing at 2x, it automatically becomes whatever it is, I guess like 40 seconds, right? So now
missing part of the data.
Okay. These dots. Occasionally these dots come up. I saw one up here earlier also. It looks kind of like the iPad mouse cursor.
And then you're also having some interference right here. You may just want to watch out for that, because all these little breadcrumbs of mistakes, they end up adding to a loaf. And what ends up happening when you have a loaf of distrust is people are not going to convert, because they're going to be questioning, you want to work with my data, you want to work with my secure, sensitive data, but you can't even get your website right? Pass. Okay. Empower every team with it. Now, if you click onto okay. So interesting. Right here, I did not know that these are tappable. So one thing that you can do is just add this same shape, but maybe as a light blue divider line, where it looks tappable, but you don't want to leave any room for interpretation. And right here, this is kind of, you see how the screen is kind of jerking because these images are not ending up at the same place.
Yeah.
Right here, let's just start with this. With these images, you want to lean into some of these like fuzzy images. Don't show the whole page. Show just the update button, updating your presentation, and open in slides button, instead of all that hocus pocus around it, right? Because that's what you're just trying to give them, a snack, not the whole kitchen, right? Empower every team. Okay, so again, gray out these logos, right? And if I'm clicking this chevron, which it looks like there's double of, which is a no-no, it looks like I can tap it, but I actually can't. Instead, just get rid of this white background and just put in integrations, right? Tableau, Looker, Salesforce, etc. And right here, we're missing something, aren't we? We're missing the start for free CTA right under here and right under here. Why is that important? It's because you never know, unless you have an anchored header, which you should always have, you never know where they're going to be converting. Not only that, but you're going to find that on your back end, you're going to be able to figure out, okay, they converted with this language right here. They converted at this copy. So now that copy, the next website iteration is maybe not the third section, but maybe it's the second section, so it's also informative as well as it is functional. Okay. Charts and visualizations, big no-no right here. You're repeating yourself and there's no need, charts and visualizations made easy. Okay. So Rollstack helps you create something about this almost makes me want to have it be interactive,
It is tempting, to want it to be interactive, or maybe perhaps like be in motion through like a Lottie animation, something like that. Something else that comes to mind, guys, is like there's text here, there's cognitive parsing that the viewer is going to have to do that they don't need to do to get your guys' value prop, right? So like charts and visualizations made easy. This all makes a lot of sense. Now, do these numbers need to be there for you guys to be able to prove your point? Because those numbers also are like, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 20 numbers that need to be parsed in this illustration before the user is done digesting it, right? And that, it sounds like you guys are probably a technical team. You know how pull requests that have like 1,000 lines of changes versus pull requests that have like 5 lines of changes? The 5 lines of changes get debated really, really thoroughly because they have all the focus, whereas 1,000 lines, it's like, looks good to me, right?
And then we also have this yellow dot going on right here.
Right. Yellow dot against these like 3 other dots. Just something to think about.
And these circles, so like cognitively, your brain's like, wait, which color should I be focused on?
Right.
And what color corresponds to what piece of information?
Exactly. And now let's see what happens in this. Oh, interesting.
Learn more. That's a no-no, right?
Oh, that might be a bug in the site. The CTA section is the hash link. So
okay.
Something to catch there. Also, I don't know if do you guys use this convention anywhere else on the homepage?
I don't think so.
Okay. So something to think about. And then something else is you always want to make your CTA copy related back to, so it could be like start making your charts easy or something, like something that relates back to the copy in the section that it's trying to sell.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now the integration section.
So this almost seems like it's repeating this, does it?
And this also feels like it's repeating this.
Yeah.
So now one quick hack for you guys, as you guys are a new brand in the market. We give this advice. It seems like almost every session we have. Gray out these logos so they're not gobbling up your guys' brand real estate, right? So make it so that all of these logos, keep them there, but they don't need to be in color in a way where they're going to be competing with the Rollstack logo, right? The Rollstack logo is right here. But now look, in your above the fold, you're giving Tableau, Looker, and Salesforce. Those are the 3 things that somebody sees before they even get to like your guys' visualization, which is this pipe.
And unless they're paying for marketing, don't give it for free.
Exactly. Yeah. And so here, now imagine all of these logos being grayed out so that you can still see the breadth of your guys' integrations, but they're not gobbling up your guys' brand equity, right?
And what's nice about this is you can even debate amongst yourselves whether or not maybe you just put this in a grid and you have like a slider. So it's just maybe one row and each one of them has a CTA. Ooh, looks like it just hopped around. But if I could tap on that, like again, it is trying to anticipate where your user is going to get hooked first,
exactly.
Right? I don't want to look anymore. I want to know, oh, I have Snowflake. I want to integrate now, but I can't tap it.
And there's another thing going on here. You guys might be seeing this differentiation in heights between the cards. Chances are, I imagine that these cards are not fixed dimensions. They're just wrapping around whatever the copy is they have to work with. So you guys can choose on your side which way you want to take it, but if you want it to be one-liners, they're all going to be the same shape, ideally, with maybe a fixed width, so that way, like, Stripe and Coda are different lengths here. Just another thing to keep in mind, we oftentimes say that, like, the design on your guys' homepage is an opportunity for you to showcase your thoughtfulness, right? Stripe does this really well, and that's why everybody follows Stripe in their examples. So it's not just about, like, this converts better. It's like this gives the best pitch possible for Rollstack. It has more ethos. It's more compelling.
And think about your audience. These are people that are making presentations.
Yeah.
That it is super, super important. So when I see stuff like this not having the same padding as this, or maybe this not having the same padding as this, or maybe even this part getting cut off completely, I'm going to begin to, or even this padding not being the same as this, right? I'm going to begin to question, are you going to mess up my presentation? Are you going to get more in the way than you are give value? Oops. And it looks like you got a little bug going on right here on Webflow, but right here as well, like, drop these down to the bottom in your sitemap and go ahead and end with something that is like your last ditch effort to get them to sign up. Maybe it's part of a newsletter. If they've reached all the way down here, odds are it could really go either way. Odds are they just don't trust you, and that's why they kept on scrolling down. So maybe ask for an email address, but maybe they need a personal touch. I would lean into book a demo or talk to someone on our sales team, like address why they're probably down there, still not convinced. Talk to someone on our sales team, or like learn from us. We write about this type of stuff all the time.
So yeah, what do you guys think? How much of what we just went through made sense? What are your thoughts?
I think most of these points are completely valid. Like just to give you an overview about, like, what we did on the website, like why we did it this way. It's actually a lot of it comes from convenience.
Sure.
Because we had a Webflow template and we just used it, so we actually don't know a lot about click-through rate. Call to actions and all that stuff. We were thinking about optimizing that, like, later in our journey. That's why the website seems very, very simple.
Well, and how is the website performing for you guys right now? Like, in terms of, you guys said you're successfully being present where your ICP or your initial customer, your ideal customer profile is. Like, do you have a sense of what role the website is playing in being able to catch leads?
Yeah, it's just a contact form, but we have a lot of inbound, and but that's mainly, I would say, for the user need, and then the products for now, ability to answer that need. But the website for us right now just plays the role of getting those contacts in. But everyone would benefit from better design and better improvements on the website for sure. This is like our entry point. So no, this is super valuable. Those are really great inputs.
Yeah, of course. One other thing that we were going to bring up, if you have a lot of inbound, you're in a very special position that everything that we said, I think, like, as a critique of the website as a design artifact, totally valid. Like, it still holds. But let's leapfrog to the most impactful thing you can do in, like, 5 minutes after we wrap up this call, is changing this, your guys's book a demo, changing it from this, if you have a lot of inbound, truth be told, changing it to a Calendly link, to one of the two of you, or a round robin, which is like you're going to get on the call with one of the founders. I don't know if that makes sense at your guys' price point, but what we found is that a lot of the times, the best startups, the ones that find product market fit, all they are is literally like a corporation that is a humming crystal at the same shape of the founders in the first place, right? So, like, you guys must know this problem inside and out if you found something that has this aggressive inbound, which means that it would be a privilege for somebody who gets to your guys' website to be able to have even 15 minutes on the calendar with one of the two of you.
Qualify them beforehand. Ask hard questions. Don't necessarily send them, running around answering superfluous questions. But you guys have done enough of this, I would imagine, at this point, to know who's serious and who's not, asking questions that lead to seriousness up front will just save y'all a lot of time.
Yeah, and you can bake it into the calendar form so they see when they get to the page that it's not like a contact us that's going to go in a box that who knows if they're going to get back to you. It's like, you answer these questions, you get a slot on the founder's calendar.
And it's worth everyone's time.
Does that make sense?
Makes total sense.
All right, guys, we really appreciate it. I'm Harrison.
I'm Agree.
And this has been Bottom Line Design. Thank you so much for joining us.
That's been awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Super helpful.
Of course.